Well, howdy do, buckaroo. So I'm back. I've got something here that's kind of a novelty, I suppose. J.R. Ewing Private Reserve Bourbon. This is a 4-year-old 80 proof bourbon. And I'm going to be honest with you. As you can see here, I've had some out of yeah, you know, I had a few shots the other day. What the hell? So I know what I'm going to be tasting before I tell you. But I'm using when I had it, I used just a rocks glass that I drank it neat, but I used my rocks glass. First, I thought I'd give it the treatment, use my Rocktown nosing glass, see if that improved it any. This is I looked up some information on it. They suggest the retail at $35. I paid $30 for it, $29.99. And in all honesty, for me, the nose is lighter than I want a $30 bourbon to be. It doesn't have the character that you really want. And on the flavor as well, it is very light. As you can see, though, I want you to pay attention. I'm going to do that again. I'll let you watch me. There is no bad, well bourbon taste. Well bourbon grimace. So here's the thing. Is this a $30 bourbon? Absolutely not. What this bourbon is meant is for fans of the show to buy a bottle and never open it. I'm not that guy. I don't buy anything and never open. I don't understand that mentality whatsoever. What I'm going to do is I'm going to drink every last drop of it, then I'm going to save the empty bottle, and someday when I have my man cave, it will display with all the other empty bottles. You will never see a full bottle from me that's not going to get drank. I buy everything for the purpose of drinking it. I do not display anything. I don't understand the mentality. It is not in my nature. I'm not going to do it. But that's what this is designed to do. If you're a fan of JR or the show, blah, 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 blah. There you go. They do have a kind of a pseudo website that gives you some tasting notes. I think it's probably mostly BS from my experience with it. But and I don't like to look up reviews before I do a beer or whiskey. But in this case, I almost had to try to get some information on it. And I'll be honest with you, most of the reviews were very harsh on her. And some of them were overly harsh. I think beer snobs, whiskey snobs are much the same as craft beer snobs. Once they see blood and water or smell blood and water, it's dog pile on it. There were some descriptions that were just absolutely ludicrous. I mean, someone called it basically a whale bourbon. Some said it smelled like kerosene. Although this doesn't have the aromas that I personally want in a $30 bourbon, it is not kerosene. And although this doesn't feel like a $30 bourbon to me, it's not an $8 well bourbon either. And the reason I know that is just this. Watch this again one more time for proof. There you go. You can't drink a well bourbon neat, or you can. It's not recommended. I did see one review that I liked, and I'm not going to go over the whole review, but basically he said you really want to drink this type of bourbon neat. Some bourbons you want to add a little water to. It will bring out some flavors. This one, the body is very light. It's very watery, very, very watery. Let's be honest. So water actually, because I tried some with just a touch of water, it really kills what little flavor is in this. And that's really the problem with this, is not that it's harsh. That's how I know it's not an $8 well bourbon. But it doesn't have the depth of flavor. It's how you know it's not a $30 small batch bourbon either. It's basically a $15 bourbon in a $30 bourbon bottle. They have specifically designed this to taste a specific way, and what I mean by that is they wanted to make it mellow. So they took a rather inexpensive whiskey, added enough water in it to make it mellow to get it to 80 proof. But in doing that, they really took out what other flavors were in there. There is a little bit of sweetness. I mean, I do get some of the flavors that they describe. You do get hints of orange. You do get some vanilla. But again, all the flavors are very, 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 very muted. They are very muted. The body is very watery. I mean, you really have to take a second take. I mean, it is 80 proof. It almost drinks like it's a 70. Because it is so light. Again, it just does not have the depth of character to be a $30 bourbon. But again, here we go. Watch me again, people. And all the flavors aren't spectacular here. They don't make me go, "Ugh." And if you've ever had anybody's $8 well bourbon, whether it be, you know, I was going to say some names, but I'm not going to. I don't want to be harsh to anybody. They make you go, "Ugh." Those are designed to either put with Coke or do shots very fast if you just want to get wasted. So here you go. Yeah, you know, do I feel like I got ripped off? No, because, you know, will I buy this again? No. But I don't feel like I got ripped off because I wanted to try it once. It's certainly not worth $30, let's be honest. But now I'll have this pretty bottle to put on my shelf in my man cave or my little bar, or my little home bar one day. So there you go. I'm Tom the Beer Whisperer, drinking some overpriced but interesting whiskey. So how about that? Let me finish it for you here. Cut and action.